Happy July to those who just joined us. Um, June was such an incredible month for us personally. We hit one of our goals, which is Founders 2.0. So that was a fun push. And it was really intense as we watched some of our team members cross that finish line as well. So a huge shout out to all of those who finished strong. We've got a couple who hit diamond last month. So a huge shout out to Annette Jones and to Lindsay Norman, two new diamonds on Amy and Heather's team. So congratulations. So proud of your hard work. It was a big push. And there's nothing quite like the rush of pushing for a goal, with a group of people, and all the opposition that comes up, internally, all the dialogue of, I'm going for this, it's not working. I was planning on these people and it's falling through. And then watching people cross the finish line. So yes, we are Founders 1.0 and Founders 2.0. And it was exhilarating. It was frustrating. It was exhausting. Natalie, I've never seen her work harder. And we did some crazy incentives, and we had some crazy results, and we're really, really excited and really grateful. So grateful for all of our partners and the way they've shown up consistently. And for those of you who have points in the hundreds, please don't give up. Just run to that finish line. We've been told by Russell Butters that the Founders Club 2.0 will not fill up. So if you have points, don't stop. This is that marathon where you're at the 23rd and the 24th mile. And so, don't hold back. Marie is asking what some of those crazy incentives are that we shared. So when doTERRA did the BOGO, we asked some of our team members who weren't going to be taking advantage of that, if we could buy, especially the most of the BOGOs we bought. If they, we made sure like, is this something you want? And if it was a hard no, then we said, would you be okay? If you bought that, and then we offered that as an enrollment incentive, even beyond the BOGO date. So the BOGO was earlier in the month. We did it then as an enrollment incentive, but then we also did it the last week. So having product on hand has been really, really useful for us as a tool to just be able to help push people over that finish line and say, hey, and then there was way more people that wanted that, like the MetaPower, for example, than had it. And so we just decided, hey, we're going to offer them 50% back for whatever they buy. So let's say we ran out. So we did run out of the MetaPower Advantage, but that's what they wanted. We just said, go buy that online, and then we reimbursed part of that purchase price through Venmo or PayPal or whatever. So that was the only crazy incentive that we did. Basically, just reinvesting the fast starts from their enrollment and putting it straight back into them. So it's what retailers do all day, every day. They have lost leaders because they know that winning a new customer is worth more than the upside of those first profits. So nothing too crazy. people love a deal. And it's funny how just a slightly sweeter deal pushes so many over that finish line. So we also had some other incentives in place for those who on our qualifying legs that, like we needed a certain amount of rank advancements for us to get the right number of points. And so we offered some incentives for them too to hit those ranks. So Tiff, looks like you're still in summer mode. Summer Tiff. I think you're still muted.
There we go. Hi, friends.
Coming at us live.
I'm still in summer mode. I'm at my in-laws' home in beautiful Colorado. And so,
so beautiful.
We just got back from a morning hike. And when I got your text, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, it's Wednesday. So I'm so sorry.
You're totally
we're traveling. Great. We're about to pack up and drive home today. But yeah, we've spent the 4th of July out here in little small town USA, Colorado.
How fun. I was just telling everyone that I'm still a little hungover from all the food. Like we had a little too much tasty food to enjoy yesterday. And so it was a little harder to get going this morning and
oh yeah.
Be like, oh yeah.
My mother-in-law is literally like the best cook, and you can easily leave here like 5 pounds up because everything has butter and more butter in it.
I love it.
And it's delicious. Like 3 meals a day. Cook. I mean, she's just an amazing cook. So yes, I haven't even washed my face. There's no like, you're getting me raw and uncut. We just literally got back from a little hike. So we're just getting some movement in before we head out. But we are sending so much love. I'll tell you, we are loving that sunscreen line. We've been using that all weekend. We've gone on some great hikes, the sunscreen line. Last night, a little midnight forest and lavender, and we're just all the fun things. So yeah, it's been a really good time. I love America so much and love small town USA, and went to this fun. They do a small town little cute parade, and it's just been good. So anyway, I'm going to hop off, but I just want to say hi to everyone and happy summer and welcome to July. And I promise I'll be on and with it next Wednesday.
You're totally great. Thanks so much for saying hi. Yeah.
Love you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know how many of y'all live in small towns, but there is something special about the way small towns celebrate. It's like they hold it in for the year, or maybe they just live that way. But I was born in Vernal, Utah, which is a really small town. And sometimes we go up to Bear Lake, and that's a really, really small town, Garden City. And yes, hats off to all the small town USAers. Yes, I'm seeing some more love for the sunscreen. That was a lifesaver yesterday for us too. So nice to have clean. One of the subcontractors showed up the other day too, and I think they had gone to the lake over the weekend, and they were just fried. I mean, their whole back and arms just bright beet red. And so Natalie got out the after suns care and got some lavender on there, and he was like, I have to buy this. So that was one of our enrollments for the end of the month, last month. So you can still sample with sunscreen. It's a power tool for sure. Oh, I love it. Okay, well, I am here to serve today. So let's go ahead and open it up to any questions. Go ahead and raise your hand, and we can bring you on live. What's coming up for you as we move into July and a new month? And well, this is kind of a new season. We're in full summer mode, and Christina's asking, any tips of sampling the deep blue stick without giving them the whole thing? Obviously, doTERRA has their little deep blue samples, which are fantastic. I love deep blue so much. The stick, I'm trying to think if there's an easy delivery mechanism. I mean, I guess if you're really, really committed, you could probably carve some out and put it in an empty chapstick container, but I don't know, it seems like a lot of work. Anybody else have some great ideas for I mean, the best thing is just have the stick with you and give them experience right there on the spot, right? That's what Natalie did. She didn't give them the aftercare, the after sun care. She just, they lifted up their shirt, we sprayed on the sun care and gave them the experience. So that's what I would recommend. Okay, yeah. So those little lip balm containers, that's a great idea. So that's way less messy than the chapstick container. So great idea. All right, I see some other small towners giving shout outs. Yes, strawberry days. So good, right? Raspberry days. Amelia is saying that she's had issues with the sunscreen coming out too thick. Natural sunscreen is always a challenge. I mean, when I go to the beach, you can usually spot the natural sunscreeners from about a mile away because they have the ghost look. That has not been my experience with doTERRA's sunscreen. It goes in really well, like it absorbs really well and doesn't leave that ghosting effect. Okay, Susie's given a hot tip here. Oh, maybe that's for something else. Sorry, I think that's the deep blue conversation. Yeah, natural sunscreen, just like with natural deodorant, it is tough to pull off something that's effective, that's shelf stable. Okay, yeah, that was a deep blue comment. So all I know is the sunscreen works and it's clean. It's got a great ingredient deck. So anyways, it's, if you're going to go natural, doTERRA is the best I found. Christine is saying if your skin is dehydrated, it's a little more white. Interesting. I mean, you could have just gotten a bad one. I would just call support and see if they'll switch it out. And I haven't had any issues with it being so thick you can't rub it in. Hasn't been my experience at all. So, great. Well, raise your hand if you've got anything in your business that you want to coach through. New goals, new blocks. Here to serve. And maybe I'll shut the window now that construction's in full mode across the street. Go ahead and raise your hand. Okay. Becky's giving a great tip. Try massaging the sunscreen bottle before applying it to get better consistency. It's a great tip. I love it. All right, what other questions do you have? What's coming up for you with the new month, with convention around the corner, with Founders 2.0 winding up, 2 last months, it's July and August, and then it's a wrap. What else do you want to talk through? Well, I am here to serve. Marie's asking if they'll extend Founders 2.0 if it's not full. So they actually have extended Founders 2.0 a lot further than they expected. So they talked about wrapping it at the end of last year, even though it wasn't full. And they decided let's give people kind of through convention, end of August, and wrap it there. So I don't think there's any chance they'll extend it. I think August 31st is the hard and fast, and so we can expect the good news for anyone who's pushing for that is that however many spots are filled, that's how many people they'll split the shares among. So according to Russell's forecast that it won't fill up, that means there will be bigger shares. So before it was going to be, once the US, once the North American market gets to 2 billion, then each of those shares would have been worth 80,000. But because there will be less people, it'll be worth more per year. So Susie asking, what would be the best strategy for Founders 2.0? I love how this incentive program has shifted from, it used to be straight up personal enrollments. That's how all the contests were structured, the point system. But it's not that way anymore. It's really well balanced. The strategy has to be, you get the most points for your own rank advancements and helping your qualifiers to rank advance. So the focus shifts, the strategy shifts. What I feel like that does is it creates truly organic growth. More of the right people doing the right activities for the right reasons. So it's the strategy is engaging more builders and getting them trained and set up for success, getting them running for, right now it's a full sprint. So yeah, helping them look at their structure and look at where they need volume to hit their next rank, and just do the math, right? doTERRA has all the great tools for calculating your points. The founders dashboard is really great. I love how it shows what points you've earned in each of the different buckets. So there's points for the personal rank advancements, and then there's points for your qualifiers rank advancements, and then there's points for personal enrollments, and then getting on LRP. So just and what's cool is, I personally love this. You can get all the way to founders just on the points of your rank advancements and the rank advancements of your qualifiers, but you can't get to founders just on personal enrollments and LRPs. So what I love about that is it creates, you have to partner, you have to synergize. And so identifying who your key builders are that you're going to run with, and then making a plan together is the name of the game. So that's the really short answer to your question of the best strategy. Karina says, what's your schedule look like when you started building? And similar question. Marie's asking, what's a day in the life look like for your business? So honestly, it's gosh, that page on the business building guide is so great because it's all about the what is it? Here we go, business building guide. Oh, it says it's not here anymore. Okay, well, I guess we can download it again. It's all about IPE, right? So the pipes, prepare, invite, present, enroll, support. So those three middle activities, the rainmaking activities, that's where we've been, as we've been pushing for founders, that's where it's been 100%. There's been a lot of support too, because we're partnering with those qualifying builders. So I'm just going to pull up that page, because it is, nothing speaks like a graphic, right? Like a picture. So let's just share the screen. Actually, I think I've got it downloaded. That's going to save time. So the business building guide, fantastic resource. If you don't have it, get it. It's a free download, or you can pay $10 for the printed copy. And okay, so here is the business building guide. So we go to the table of contents, and we see, schedule your success, page 19. Okay, so here's what, here's the best way to break down your time and plan to maximize your growth. So 70% of your time is spent in those IPE activities. Invite, present, enroll. And that's exactly where we were. Just doing lots of trainings, lots of strategizing with our leaders to help them. So some people who have hit founders got a lot more personal enrollments than we did. And so we didn't do as much of the presenting and enrolling. We got most of our points from helping our qualifying legs rank advance. And so I can't even count the number of hours Natalie spent on the phone, going over people's specific teams and where they need the volume, and how to incentivize extra growth. So one other incentive that we've done to help incentivize builders is we double their fast starts. And so we look at the teams where we need the growth the most, and we say, okay, everybody who enrolls somebody will match the 20% fast start. So we're not going to match the 10 and the 5, but we'll match the 20% fast starts. And so it's just a really great way to incentivize that positive behavior. Just getting in front of these builders in person, on the phone, on Zoom, and talking them through their limiting beliefs. That was a big part of our schedule over the last couple months, really. Doing the Experience doTERRA events, that event probably did more than anything else for getting us to Founders 2.0. Just getting prospective builders to corporate, having them meet an executive, hear stories from leaders, talk through making their own goals, and getting them launched. It's really a little launch training. So that is a quick overview of what our days and weeks have looked like. Yes, I think it's a comment, not a question. Okay. Go ahead and raise your hand if you have any other questions. I'm still just, okay. So Jean is asking, what can you do if you don't have as much to incentivize? So the comp plan is actually set up really well. So you don't have to have much to incentivize growth. So if you're incentivizing your qualifiers to match their fast starts, you're going to be getting back 10% anyways. So to match the 20% really doesn't cost you very much at all. So we launched this one time and I thought it was going to break the bank. And it turns out it was a small portion of just our fast start bonus, not even the unit level bonus. So the comp plan really does, it works really well. And then sometimes just offering free product. You know, like maybe you've got a couple extra products in your stock. Just offering that as an incentive for people, either for enrolling or for you know, for their own enrollments, or like you've got new customers coming in, offering a freebie. Jackie asks, how can I best support a new wellness advocate who states that she wants to build, but she isn't taking any steps to do so? First of all, I would help them get clear on like what building looks like. So that's why, like at the launch training, so when we bring people in for Experience doTERRA, they're leaving with their 100 names list started and with classes that they're hosting all scheduled. And so like we do that together in person, and then they're meeting with their direct upline and talking about next steps. So, you know, we even take some time where they're actually doing some inviting together at that event. So a lot of times people, they have the desire and they have every intention of building, but it doesn't take much for us to get a little bit stuck and to feel like, you know, I don't quite know how to do this, or I don't have quite enough confidence. And it might not be a conscious thought. They might not consciously think I don't have enough confidence, but that's often the case. And so just offering, hey, I'm going to be doing some of my inviting, you know, at this time of day, or when are you going to be doing yours? And let's do it together. And let's just create some positive social pressure for each other, you know, where we can just run together, and it makes everything so much more fun when it's done together. So that's how I would support, is just making sure they have had a true launch where they've started their names list. Some people think they have a small, you know, warm market, but statistically, the average person in the world knows 600 people, 600. So to make a 100 person names list is not a big stretch. It's not a huge ask. Okay, great question, Jay. When you incentivize, do you actually use dollars, or you somehow credit points? We use dollars. Some people offer product credits, and so they say, you know, I'll give you 50 PV if you buy 100 PV, and then, you know, there's things you can do that way. Okay. So Jackie's saying she has the build guide. So the build guide is a really high level, but the business building guide is a really thorough instruction manual. So the business building guide has all the scripting, the scheduling stuff, like it's really thorough. So I would make sure that she has both. The build guide is really just, let's cast a vision. Let's talk about what you could do with a little extra income. Kathy's asking, have you incentivized people to get on LRP, to place their LRP orders? So yes, and the most important thing we do there, especially with new customers, is the wellness consult, or lifestyle review, or you know, going through the live guide together. So that's the most important thing, because that builds the value of creating a lifestyle, right? Like a lot of times people buy the oils and they think, oh, now I have an emergency kit on the shelf for when I need it. And it doesn't become an active part of their lifestyle. So that's the most important thing, is just to create a case, right? To build the need, helping them see, oh, I actually do need this. And it's meeting a real need. And so I will go on LRP, because everything else, if they're not doing it to, if they're just doing it for a freebie, or if they're just doing it to help someone else with a goal, they're probably not going to stay on it. And so taking the time to do that wellness consult, even if you do a group wellness consult where you take a few people through it, is still super, super valuable. So, and yeah, Becky is saying focusing on LLV, because once they start that, they tend to stay on it. And it's true. The reorder rate on LLV is through the roof. And same thing is true of MetaPower. Those two things, doTERRA showed some really cool stats. Can't remember the exact numbers, but it's crazy how those two products are by far the stickiest that doTERRA offers. And when I say sticky, I mean, once people have tried it, they want to keep using it. And so they tend to reorder it. So really, really powerful. Okay, Maria's saying, I'm in a BNI, and she doesn't think the people in our chapter are into oils. She wants me to just concentrate on ditch and switch. Cool. Yes, the digital marketing kit is a fantastic resource. Hopefully everybody knows doterra.com/DMK is where you can find a treasure trove of great tools. Oh, we still need to post all of the makeover series. Remember when doTERRA did the living magazine that had the make over your bathroom cabinet, make over your gym bag, make over your medicine cabinet, make over your, those are so good for ditch and switch. So maybe you can still find those PDFs in doTERRA's archives. I don't know. I would just Google doTERRA makeover and see if anybody can find those. Jackie's asking if the vitamins could cause sugar numbers to go up. I can't think of any ingredient in the vitamins that would do that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's nothing that's a carb or a sugar that would do that. So I don't have any concern about that. That's a great suggestion from Becky to check Enroll Pro. Another great resource for the ditch and switch. So that's enroll.pro. For great resources. Okay. Marcia is asking in the back office where she can see her upline. We talked about that last week, and I actually just tried last month, and it was harder than I thought to find it. I think somebody said it was in the old back office that they could still see that. Okay. Becky's saying, what do you tell people who ask if they can use the LLV for a prenatal? I say all day, every day. Natalie, we have had, let's see, we had 4 kids when we started doTERRA. Yeah, that's right. So we have had 3 children with doTERRA, and she swears up and down by the vitamins, the nutritionals. She obviously takes more than Lifelong Vitality. She's taking the bone nutrient, the phytoestrogen, the DDR prime, the copaiba, turmeric, and Mito 2 Max. And she will tell you all day, every day that she couldn't do a pregnancy without them. So yeah, 100% safe and effective. I'm not sure what SM is, Karina. Maybe spell it out for us. Okay, so Marie is saying that to find your upline listing, you click on team and then click on upline listing. Is that the one that has their contact info? Because I feel like I saw a place where you could see the business names, but there was another place you had to go to see their contact info. So Maria, if you could just confirm that for us. Oh, social media. Okay. Awesome. Becky's asking if the folic acid in the lifelong vitality is sufficient for a prenatal. If anybody knows that, chime in. I know that for Natalie it was. She didn't feel like there was anything lacking. Okay, Marie's saying there's a team contact download. Fantastic. Okay, great. Great question. I love the dialogue here. Okay, Krista is saying there's new research that folic recommendations are too high. Interesting. Okay, good to know. Yeah, lots of goodness in that lifelong vitality. Tell you what, I am a firm believer. Okay, any other questions? Awesome. Well, I love how people are just chiming in with questions and answers for each other in the chat. This community is here for that. I love that so much. Wow. All right, we've got some in-depth conversation here about Jean says folic acid is synthetic, folate has different absorption. Okay. Does anybody know when the sachets will be back for LLV? I don't know that. If anybody does, chime in. Okay. Okay, Maria's clarifying that that lifelong vitality is a folate. It's the non-synthetic. Okay. Jeff's asking, where can we find out about our event in September? So we actually have multiple events. We are hosting emotions training before convention. And I think that's the day before. And then we're doing a rank training, which is a 2-day event, a couple days before convention. And all those events are at sharesuccess.com/convention. And that whole calendar is clickable. So each thing that you see there is that needs registration is a link. So click away. We've got lots of fun stuff coming up. And Maria says she's already signed up. So huzzah. We're excited to connect. Convention is going to be so good. I'm getting so excited. Okay. All right. Any other questions today? Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for hopping on and connecting today. Freedom is has been on our minds for a lot of us lately, and that's the gift that we have to offer through doTERRA is freedom at so many levels. Not just freedom from physical ailments and limitations, but also freedom from financial burdens, freedom from limiting beliefs, freedom to live the highest, best version of ourselves, freedom to shine. I love watching people rise up and step into their most magnificent and brilliant versions of themselves. So thank you for being a freedom fighter. Thank you for taking a stand and fighting for your own freedom. So it looks like Marie might have another question. I'm trying to find it. I guess we can bring you on live, Marie. Does anybody see? Okay. Maria is asking, what are the best resources for freedom from limiting beliefs? Oh, we could spend another hour on that one. So, there are so many great tools, and I haven't found one tool that works for everyone. I love the work of Byron Katie. You can go to thework.com and watch videos of her doing the work. She has a great book called Loving What Is, which is pretty much just her doing the work with different people. I'm a huge fan of meditation. Joe Dispenza is one of my favorite mentors in that space right now. Yeah, like just clearing out all the monkey mind noise, and I love his phrase, breaking the habit of being you. That's a powerful tool. I just saw Lassen is on Facebook Live. I know that she's a huge advocate for Avatar as a tool. And I love Karina said prayer and scriptures are her go-to tool. Prayer. I don't know any greater tool than communion for breaking limiting beliefs. So it's it's a really personal journey, but it's a lot of people hire a coach, just having a sounding board to be a mirror to them. Now that I've used that for the last 15 years, we just have a weekly call once a week with a coach, and we talk through the stuff that's coming up for us, and look for limiting beliefs and do our best to create breakthrough. Okay, Maria is asking, do we have any info about convention kits and gala? So gala used to be an add-on ticket. It used to be a separate event, and they used to have like, a full-on dinner, a plated meal. It was a whole, it was a big commitment on doTERRA's part to host the gala, and unfortunately, because of the extra cost, some people didn't come. And so this year, doTERRA is making gala part of the whole convention event. Now you don't have to go, but I love how it's no longer a paid event. It's included with your convention ticket. So there's no dinner. I don't know if they're doing snacks or not, but it's pretty much it's all in the same Vivint. Well, now it's the Delta Center again, but the big arena is where that will be hosted, and it's that's what I know about the gala. I don't know about kits. I'm positive that it will be a fantastic value. It always just blows me away how much they pack into that convention kit. So that's all I know. And then Marie's also asking if they're not getting to Salt Lake till Monday at noon, is it still worth joining? I would say yes. I would say come for whatever parts of the events you can. The rank training will be by rank. So we'll have breakouts based on the highest rank that you've hit. So it'll be really tailored to your current doTERRA experience. I love it. I've got some people on here who are saying they have experience in breakthrough. Yes, Jackie, there's training for all ranks. So it doesn't matter if the highest rank you've hit is director. There's a training for you. So yes, come join, come play. Fantastic. Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, thank you so much for hopping on. It's such a gift to be here and just feel the shared purpose that we have here. We are here for a higher cause, and it's about healing the world and creating empowerment in so many forms throughout the world. So thank you all so much for hopping on with us, and we will see you next week.